Are we recording?
It's just in case we caught anything.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
I like to do it so we don't forget.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've been doing it.
Well, the reason I was asking, I have to adjust my ball sack, and I didn't want to do it on camera or anything yet.
Oh, it is now.
Well, fuck it. I don't care. Well, I got here. Let me adjust it real quick. I'm serious. No.
What's that called? Manspreading?
I don't know. Hell, I don't like sitting like this.
Yeah.
I got bad hips.
Yeah.
Like I've had a total hip reconstruction.
Yeah.
So I can't do this. So I've got to go over here, and it smashes my testicles and stuff. Hell, I'm 40 now. They sag. You know, they ain't taught.
I'm 35.
Anymore.
They do the same
Dude,
thing.
They ain't taught no more. And but the problem is they're little bitty. You know, I got tiny nuts, so it makes my dick look huge.
Oh, I got the exact opposite.
No, man, it's like putting a Barbie hand on top of it. You know what I mean? It makes that fucker look magnified.
Mine looks like that orangutan's head from Planet of the Apes.
I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I don't even know what it means, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Hey, I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat.
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite language learning app such as Duolingo, but it could be. It really could be. Guys, Duolingo is amazing, and if you don't take your lessons, nothing will happen to my family, right? Duolingo, please, guys, please use the app, please. I miss my kids. I miss my kids. Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Unloading Meat. We totally haven't been talking for about 2 hours, and I forgot to do an intro. Totally haven't happened.
See, I went through with 3 of these.
My next guest, as you can already hear him, not Foghorn Leghorn. It is the great Brian Dixon.
I say what?
I'll say.
Oh my God!
God, we just went straight to fucking appropriation, didn't we? Real quick.
This is gonna hit in like the Klan rallies.
Yeah.
I promise. It's gonna be a #1 download in
Trump
small
mask
towns.
up there.
You've got to be shitting me.
No, I told that. So, you know, Adam. What's his name? Adam. Sweet Titties.
Yeah.
Adam. Fuck, I can't remember his name. Last name. It's gonna bother the hell out of me.
That don't matter.
Anyway, yeah, he was on here. I did an episode with him, and
they talk about sweet titties.
Sweet titties.
Oh God, that dude was on stage one time talking about sweet titties. I said, "Fuck that! I'm 40. I want to see some bold vaginas. I've seen enough titties. Whip those wallered out twats out. I want to see them." And yeah,
but, in my Star-Lord helmet up there is a Trump mask.
Okay,
because if you look at my helmets up there, like their helmet stands.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, well, how the hell do I get Star-Lord's helmet to stand up there? Because there's no internals to it. It's hollow. So my dad had this like Trump mask from Halloween.
Sure, your dad.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
No, it was it. Yeah.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
fuck that guy.
Anyway, it's in the Star-Lord helmet, and it just fits perfectly. So yeah, when Adam was
awesome.
here, I just brought it down.
I bet he turned it on.
He made out with it.
Dude, I guarantee that if he put it on the inside, that sumbitch smells like bad decisions.
It ended up sitting here on the couch for a bit, and like he ended up laying down on the couch and making out with it. I have a picture of him making out with it. I was like, this is getting awkward.
That's real awkward. Yeah. I mean, he's not even a hot man. You know what I mean? He's an ugly, ugly man.
The only thing hot about him is the orange skin.
Oh shit! I tell you what, it wasn't like what was the guy's name from Barbie movie? Ryan
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. It wasn't a Ryan Gosling mask.
No.
Hell, I'd come in that. I promise. I ain't kidding you. Either that or I guarantee I'd pre-cum if I made out with a Ryan Gosling mask.
I'm just gonna say it right now. Maybe it's because I'm a bi individual. I can kind of just say it. If you ever noticed the kid that ate his boogers, they swallow.
I used the shit sliding down easy.
Basically the same consistency.
Who you been fucking? I mean, if it's as rocky road as a fucking booger, like I ain't kidding you. Does it get stuck in your teeth like that too?
Oh,
you chew on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you chew on a booger, it gets stuck in. I was poor. That's all there was to eat.
Booger
sometimes.
sandwiches. Yeah.
My God.
Put it on a cracker.
I do. I am a cracker.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Well, we call it jerk off on a cracker. Come on a cracker. Eat it.
I don't know about that.
There's some porns.
I don't know.
You said you went to college.
No, I have gluten issues. That's what I'm saying.
Good answer. I like it. Gluten doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, the media made it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I bet it is. Celiac is non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with sickle cell.
I tell you, like, I don't know about celiac, all that shit. I know lactose intolerant exists.
I know.
I ain't kidding. Holy shit.
My
And that's
toilet
the thing.
knows.
How come everybody, like, I'm lactose intolerant.
Me too.
But I fucking love pizza. And every time I eat pizza, I've got to be within a toilet at least in 15 minutes. I've got to be by a toilet.
Well, my thing is I have no gallbladder. I had my gallbladder removed like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just an express lane now.
Dude,
so it's like 30 minutes or less on everything you eat.
Oh, dude, I'm not kidding you. When I eat pizza, I will knock the porcelain off that fucking toilet. I ain't kidding you.
Well, my thing is like things that tear me up now, like since no gallbladder, like I can't do like pepperoni or like spicy like sausages and stuff like that. That shit, tomato sauce.
Yeah, sorry, I'm Italian. I thought we were gonna have a shot after this, but I got that spicy pepperoni. No, I'm kidding. It tears your ass up, doesn't it? Spicy pepperoni.
Use lube.
Are we recording?
It's just in case we caught anything.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
I like to do it so we don't forget.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've been doing it.
Well, the reason I was asking, I have to adjust my ball sack, and I didn't want to do it on camera or anything yet.
Oh, it is now.
Well, fuck it. I don't care. Well, let me adjust it real quick. I'm serious. No.
What's that called? Man spreading?
I don't know. Hell, I don't like sitting like this.
Yeah.
I got bad hips.
Yeah.
Like I've had a total hip reconstruction.
Yeah.
So I can't do this. So I've got to go over here, and it smashes my testicles and stuff. Hell, I'm 40 now. They sag. You know, they ain't taut.
I'm 35.
Anymore.
They do the same
Dude,
thing.
They ain't taut no more. And but the problem is they're little bitty. You know, I got tiny nuts, so it makes my dick look huge.
Oh, I got the exact opposite.
No, man, it's like putting a Barbie hand on top of it. You know what I mean? It makes that fucker look magnified.
Mine looks like that orangutan's head from Planet of the Apes.
Dr. Zayas.
Yeah, Dr. Zayas. I just remember. Do you remember like Simpsons? They did that like parody Broadway musical episode.
Dude, honestly, I was never a Simpson fan. I was never a Simpson fan. I wasn't I watched a ton of movies, but not a whole lot of cartoons. And when I was younger, I did. But growing up, I was always wrestling, so I would have wrestling practice from like late in the day. Yeah. And so I just never until 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I didn't really watch anything except for movies.
You still keep up with wrestling?
No, yeah, not really.
Okay.
Like, man, every time I watch it on TV now, like you're talking about pro wrestling, right? I was referring to high school wrestling, but I was a pro wrestler too. And man, it was like every single time I watch it, it's like, fuck. I still want to do it, you know? And so I don't really do it anymore because it's just like it gets that juices going and stuff.
You get that itch.
Yeah, absolutely. And because I had to retire from it because of my hip. And, I end up, it's a genetic thing or whatever, but it just got real bad. I ruined my joint. And I need a replacement, but I'm too young. I got to wait till I'm like 45 to do it.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's another 5 years. And, I mean, I'm still in a lot of pain. I need another one. I need another surgery to clean it up. But it's just like, God dang. That first one I had, man, I had it, I think 2 years ago, and I was on the couch for like couldn't do anything really and for like 6 weeks. Couldn't put any weight on it, nothing. And, when you get a hip replacement, you're up walking the same day.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck. I mean, yeah. I was like, come on. And the doctor I was like, why do I got to wait till I'm 45? He said, well, the technology that we have, they wear out every 20 years. So, we don't want you being, in your 80s and, being wheelchair bound. I was like, fuck, doc, I ain't living till I'm 80. Shit. Like,
have you seen my liver?
Like, God dang. Like, I drink a lot. Like, I mean, I'm wild, man. Like, fuck, if I live till I'm 80, like I've had a broken neck, knee surgery, all this type of shit, man. And like, I'm going to be the most decrepit, the most cantankerous bastard you've ever met at 80.
Yeah, you're not going to get to the Howard Hughes, pissing in the jars with the fingernails or anything like that.
No, I'm like, fuck, just take me out by then,
I know. I want to just go like the Thelma and Louise and just drive off the cliff. If I ever get like a debilitating
illness, I'm too much of a pussy. Like, really? I act like I'm tough, but I'm too much of a pussy to take it. Like, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, well, there's still at least one more life I can ruin out there.
Well, I mean, not to get real, but I even joke on my podcast. I'm a 2-time suicide failure.
Yeah.
I failed twice.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
That's the thing about life. I mean, I think, I grew up with a lot of trauma and stuff like that. And I mean, a lot of us comics have.
Yeah. That's pretty much the bar standard.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, there are times there's been times where, I mean, I had it all planned out and everything else. And I mean, it was just holy cow. But I mean, I went through some bad shit just, here recently. And it was like, holy cow, man. And here's the thing, like, honestly, like, my son plays baseball.
Yeah.
And last year he played for a different team. But there's this kid on his baseball team this year that played for the sister team of the other one. They had two teams, same age group. They had too many kids. Anyways, his last name's they had their first game Sunday.
Yeah.
This kid's last name's Dixon. Like, his name's Braylon or Brayson Dixon. So whenever you look it up on the stat thing, it says B. Dixon.
Yeah.
Like, he's a catcher. I played catcher.
Yeah.
And little bastard is 00, just like I was. And so I told my wife, I was like, this is my new favorite player. And she goes, you mean your second favorite? I said, no, this is my favorite player right here. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, my stepson knows I love him, but let's be honest, he's a stepson. That fucker gets my B game at best. You know what I mean? I save the A shit for my real
because
kids.
his mom's getting the D game.
Oh my god! I like that one. I'm gonna use that on
there
stage.
you go.
Jared, I'm stealing it.
Let's go.
So you go by Jared or Ralphie?
You can go by Jared.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Ralphie, your middle name?
So like, growing up, I was always called Ralphie because I looked like the kid from Christmas.
Oh, okay, yeah. You shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
My God, you kind of do sometimes, right?
That's why I wear the glasses.
My God,
Eye protection now.
Well, yeah. Anyways, well, let me get back to that story. It's like I'm ADHD.
You're good.
Fuck, I'm 90 HD.
The magic of editing, man.
Oh, but anyways, this little son of a bitch. He's like I told my wife, he's my favorite player. Like, and we were sitting there getting ready to go to practice Tuesday, and we get a text from the coach. This kid's dad, who is a great guy, is a doctor and everything else, was hunting, and he slipped and fell down an embankment, and the gun went off and killed him.
Wow.
Yeah, and now we didn't get any details or anything like that. I mean, it could have been like, just a freak shot and took him out. Or, I mean, he was hunting. He was by himself, so the guy could have been there and bled out, with out in the woods. You don't have any cell phone service or nothing.
Yeah.
And so, man, I was just thinking, and then seeing the trauma or the demeanor of this little kid, and then having that conversation with our kids, but hey, let's let him kind of know what was going on, because it's his teammate, he's got to pick him up and stuff. And then I say, well, just don't ask any questions, but don't ignore it.
Yeah.
And he looked up at me, he said, he talking about the kid being sad. I said, if he's sad or if he's cries for no reason, don't make fun of him. Like, he's got a lot going on. And he goes, yeah, like, I'd be sad if you died. And I was like, fuck, I mean, that's the impact that, taking your own life or, just something freak happening can do, and when you're in that state, you don't really think of that, because you think nobody cares about you, nobody loves you or anything like that. But I mean, there's people that will absolutely love you. And I'll be honest, man, like, I'm living my greatest life. Every year it's like it's getting better. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's bad shit that happens, but it's like on the other side of that, I mean, it's just fucking mountains and rainbows. You know what I mean? And so it's it's crazy, man, how life works.
It's honestly like, man, like not to give spoilers away, but like, what Reservation Dogs is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you watched it or anything? Yeah. So like, that show really does a great job of showing the after effects of suicide and stuff like that, or people that death just in general.
Right.
I mean, they build up to their friend. The whole point of the show is like their friend's lost, and then you see it's like generational, because like then they're like their parents had a loss, the same thing.
Yeah, Mr. Pink was my favorite.
Oh, really?
Reservation Dogs. No, I'm kidding. Reservoir Dogs. Haha. Yeah.
It took me for a second. I was like, man, Jimmy was in it? I was like, I haven't finished season 3. I was like, man, is he coming up?
Yeah. I know. Like, when they killed that cop, absolutely. Look how they dealt with death. No, I'm kidding.
We just find out the ending of the show is just them crossing over with it.
Oh, dude. We need to start writing some shit.
Yep.
That'll work. Uh-huh.
Yep.
But, that's the thing is, like I said, a lot of us have gone through a lot of trauma, and everything else. And, we look at some of these people that haven't gone through trauma, and it even if they have it, like my wife is like, we compare our lives together, and it's like she had it made, family there. Like the worst thing that's ever happened to my wife is that her parents got divorced when she was 12 years old. That's it. I mean, no sexual abuse, none of that stuff happened. But you just go down the list of it. It's like, fuck, this dude's screwed up, But it's like that's still somebody's highest level of trauma is still their highest level of trauma. Yeah. And it doesn't once they hit that echelon, it's still your highest level of trauma.
It's not a competition.
Yeah, but it's like, holy cow, you know? I mean, there's just so much of it going on. I wish people would be a lot kinder to everybody, And I need to do that a lot too, because I'm kind of an asshole sometimes, But anyways,
I lash out sometimes when I try. I mean, it comes out in little doses, but I'm trying to do better.
Oh man, my problem is I can't keep my fucking mouth shut when people are being idiots. You know what I mean?
That's my hard part.
My problem is just, God dang.
That's like post my second divorce and everything, I went through therapy and, got myself back together and stuff. I don't really have any tolerance for bullies or anybody that just kind of like will just throw their weight around.
Right.
I'll immediately shut them down. Like I just don't have that in me anymore. Whether it just be my first wife or something like that, just drama and stuff like that. Just that bullying behavior. Just just won't deal with it.
Well, I know I look like a bully and sound like the kid that beat up everybody on the school bus or something, but I mean, I was never a bully. Like I got bullied by my stepdad all the time, and my mom, not bullying, but I mean, it was that mental attacking, that type of thing, and the shit beat out of me all the time. Yeah. So like when I would bully the bullies. I mean, honestly, and then the older I got, the better I could fight, the more I would I mean, those are the guys that I was assholes to, and girls too. I mean, especially those ones like, oh my God, like that shit. Because I mean, I was white trash, dirt poor, lived in the city, but yet I went to Union Public Schools. And I mean, so you had these kids like me that were on free lunches, reduced lunches, that, only got school clothes when it was their birthday. Thank God mine's 2 days before school started.
There you go, looking out.
So
parents planned that.
There you go. Well,
it wasn't a planned parent.
No, my shit was not planned at all. We'll get into that later.
You look like the guy to be against Planned Parenthood.
No. I sound like it, but again, the only reason why I'm against Planned Parenthood is because, like, my mama
are too small to
my mama told me, like, if abortion was legal, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's like, holy shit.
The favorite thing I ever heard was my guest on my very first episode, one of my best friends, AJ. His mom in a fight with him one time said, like, you know what? I should have swallowed you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah. You still been fat though. Not like. So you say I was, planned and stuff like that. Like I found out 2 years ago. That's how I started. 3 years ago, something like that. But that's how I got my start in comedy. Was this major trauma that I went through later on in life. Like my oldest stepson, his dad's adopted. So and he's a wonderfully gifted kid. His mind's just amazing. He's got a photographic memory, and he is with that being, with his dad being adopted, he wanted to know where his roots came from. So he started researching, got into genealogy and all this stuff. I mean, this kid's 13 years old, and when he was 10, he was making family trees for like his friends.
Damn.
I mean, it's kind of goofy, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so he wanted to take one of those 23andMe's to find his stuff and, to support him. Hell, I was like, yeah, let's take 23andMe and blah, 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 blah. Well, I was sitting in line at Arby's and my results come back and I pop it open and turns out like it says who your father is at the top. It wasn't my real dad. Yeah. And so it said this guy named John Valento. And I was like, what the fuck? So, I mean,
what an experience at Arby's.
Oh, I know, right? At the drive-thru. I mean, we have the meats. Yeah, except for the kind that you get to meet your real fucking dad.
We have the DNA test results.
yeah. But now, so I mean, I grew up my whole and then as I go through it, like everything that I was brought up on was a lie. Like I grew up, believing I was 8th or 16th Native American. Turns out I'm a quarter Italian.
Oh, I thought you were saying because you're Arby's, you're a quarter French dip.
No, yeah, by God. I did take French class in high school, but no, it turns out I'm a quarter Italian, which explains a lot with my temper and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my undying love for the Sopranos. But God damn. You know how many times I jerked off to Meadow Soprano? I ain't kidding you, Bubba.
Not enough.
I mean,
That's what your answer should be.
yesterday, like, that woman is just a knockout. I forget her real name. It's a good thing I don't know her because she's on my list right there, my hall pass list. I promise you. Oh, I like those girls so
I love how
much.
we went from like, death and Little League to fucking coming.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
right away.
I mean, you've heard my comedy.
I've heard.
Like, I mean, it's, yeah.
I've heard your comedy. My favorite joke that I've ever made for you is like when you get really excited, your voice gets a little bit higher.
Oh, yeah.
And I say you sound like Foghorn Leghorn mixed with Cartman.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, why the fuck? Yeah. I said. Yeah. Why the fuck do they call it? Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean, man.
I always like, it's like that opening riff for like Kyle's Mom was a big fat bitch. It's like,
well, Kyle's Mom's a big fat bitch, the biggest bitch. Well, yeah, I love that song because my mom was a great big old bitch and a whore.
yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, well, we get back to comedy and we talked about like the situation or the trauma that we all have. It's like when you encounter a comic that's in the scene that doesn't have trauma, you're like, how the fuck did you get here?
Yeah, well, they're a clean comic.
Yeah.
Like they're booked at churches and shit. You know what I mean? They are a clean comic. Like I don't find that like dude. I know that every comedian has their place and everything like that, and everybody needs something to laugh at. It's a carnival, That's the great thing about comics. You got your elephants, you got your clowns, lions. Yeah. It's something for everybody. Somebody's ultimate goal was to be the new Jim Gaffigan. Right. Yeah.
Which is not bad. Jim Gaffigan is great.
Yeah, or Brian Regan. Like I've never heard Brian Regan cuss, but his facials are amazing.
Yeah.
And
I love facials.
Like they're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
No, but like that's the thing. Yeah. What was that? You got a soundboard over there too?
Yeah.
God damn.
Just for you too.
Oh.
No, just for you. I mean, I have a few buttons.
Right.
My favorite button of all.
I'm about to go down to Taco Bell and give me a blast.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I had to have that queued up.
Damn it, Bobby. Ball.
I can do a little bit of voice acting, not much. I mean, I can do a good Mickey.
Dude, I can do an amazing Gollum. From Lord of the Rings.
Okay, let's hear it.
My precious.
That's damn good.
And I don't know what the fuck he says, but like I haven't seen that in forever. But I can do a great Gollum voice.
All I'm thinking right now is Gollum and a Make America Great Again.
No, check this shit out. So I started a bit, like when I first started, one of my favorite bits that I would do on stage was I was like, so I searched the dark web and stuff, and I found Gollum from the Lord of the Rings, the other parts that he tried out for. Turns out some bitch tried out for Silence of the Lambs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then I was like, it rubs the lotion on its skin, or that's the hose again. He's like, precious. Oh, so like that was my favorite bit to do, and it was because I got the voice act. I got to take me a little.
Go ahead, man. I love voice acting. I love fucking with people, and just like drive-throughs are my favorite thing. Just go up there, Mickey Mouse, like, oh boy.
Well, that hop was fucking on point.
Yeah.
But, my voice is so unique. I mean, people think I'm fucking with them anyways when I'm talking. So, I mean.
Hey, it makes you stand out, though. Which is funny because I'm in Oklahoma. Like, you have the accent that a person that's not from the South thinks that we have.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. Here's why I got such an accent. I went to college. I was a high school wrestler and a Division I wrestler. Well, I ended up getting a full ride scholarship to college in North Carolina.
Via horseback.
Yeah, by God. So anyway, and so a lot of it's like a mixed accent there, and I have no idea why. It wasn't like I was there my whole life or anything, but it's that mixture of that Carolina. And the first week I got there, I went to a Hardee's that was on campus, because they didn't have Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
I went to Hardee's there, and I was sitting in the drive-thru and ordered something. And this lady, that was on there, she goes, "Oh my God, where are you from, baby? I love your voice.
Yeah.
You talk weird." And I was like, bitch, you gotta be kidding me. Or where I'm from, you sound like you have a low IQ. And I know I sound like I got one, but and I probably do. But.
Well, like, I mean, not to sound like people with an accent like yours or like the Southern accent, I feel like we get treated the same way, or you would get treated the same way as someone that like English is not their first language, and they could speak it fluent English, but like I had a relative that was from Mexico,
right.
And just seeing like how people would talk to her like she's demeaning or dumb because like they do it slow or that typical like, how are you today kind of thing.
No, seriously, like I just got back from California, and I performed a bunch of places there. But anyways, after one of these shows, one of the other comics was like, comes up and, hey man, you're really good, that type of stuff. I was like, so I wanted to mix in with the scene. I was like, is there any? They had a website that had all the mics and stuff like that. And then I ended up performing at Flappers and all that stuff. I'll tell you about that later. Let me finish this story. But anyways, so like they said, there's this hottest mic in town is this one place. I don't remember what the name was. And so I was like, oh, cool, and they go, just tell them you're there. So we were staying at the, we stayed at two places. We stayed at one place by the beach for 3 days. And then for 3 more days, we stayed at the Omni in downtown. Okay. And so downtown LA is like downtown Tulsa liberal on steroids, Yeah. And I love liberal people. Fuck, I'm more liberal than any, compared to my voice, I'm pretty damn liberal. And, but anyways,
you're liberal. Your voice is closeted.
Oh, absolutely. My voice is alt-right. I mean, shit. And
as then you go by that, hey, boy, ain't right.
But I go up on stage, and I got a shitty spot at like 2:30 a.m.
Oh shit!
And I mean, there was 15 people in the crowd and about 20 comics in the back. And they're all hanging out. And I mean, some of those people in the crowd, like half the crowd, just hey, how y'all doing? That type of thing. Boy, they just shut the fuck down. And I mean, like, it was a good set. And I even said on stage, I was like, fucking Tulsa, they think this shit's hilarious. Just because
they prejudged it because of the accent.
But I mean, there was half of the room was dying laughing.
Yeah.
But the other half was like, fuck this guy. He voted for Trump. And
well, it's like, fuck, man. Like, I mean, even like Tom Segura and Bert talk about it like on their podcast stuff. Like, they loved going to like the more the conservative states because that was the first to open up and actually come back to comedy and like being ready to like be laugh. Like, I'm as liberal as you can come. I suck cock left and right. But goddamn,
and in the center.
Yeah. It's a free for all.
Oh my god.
As long as they're tested. I mean, kind of. Just give me a wink.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. And a nod. This would be like George Michael in that bathroom all over again. As long as it's not like Pee Wee Herman where he gets arrested in the fucking nudie. Rest in peace, Paul Rubens.
Dude.
They ruined that dude's career and he didn't even jerk off.
Speaking of which, I just found out there's a sex shop in Tulsa that's got a movie theater in it. I didn't know that shit.
I didn't know they still existed because I was like, it's 2023. You can just go on Pornhub. Like, it's
dude, like I go, and I just made a bit about it. Yeah. Like, I mean, I literally have done it on stage twice and trying to figure out all the tags and everything else. But literally, it was like, oh boy, I was in there, buying some toys. And the old boy in there, I was like, man, this place, you fucking got everything. And I love acting like I'm a bumpkin, you know what I mean, when people don't know me. Yeah. Because just to see their reaction from it, And anyways, this dude goes, oh, you think that's sweet? You ought to see our movie theater. And I go, you guys got a movie theater? And he was like, well, we got 3 of them. I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, $20, you can have unlimited access. I go, wait, settle down, Turbo. Yeah. I ain't, that's bullshit. $20. Like, I got Pornhub on my phone, like, and that's free. And he was like, okay, well, 10, you can check out one of the theaters. So I go in there and I slap down $10, and I told you to slap down $10, and I go in and I walk in. I open the door, and then there's another door that you have to go into.
There's always another door.
And as soon as I opened that other door, it was like, ha. It was like Pervert Paradise, you know, except it sounded a little bit more like, ha, 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 ha. I mean, I ain't kidding you. I was like, this is...
That's what's inside the briefcase of Pulp Fiction.
God, dude, I'm not kidding you. I was like, holy shit. So I ran back out, slapped down another $10 and said, fuck, I don't want to check them all out. God damn, they were like Pokemon. I won't see them all.
All I can think of right now is you say movie theater, and I'm like, man, give Go and Broken Arrow 5 years.
Dude, I tell you what, man.
I'm just saying, he has Go of all shows, and he has Jack of all shows.
Mm-hmm.
Put a
Go Jack off of all shows.
Jack and Go.
Mm-hmm.
Jack and Go. Jack and Go's right there.
And here's the deal. Like, it was so funny. You could tell the guys that were in there that, like, kind of like me. You know, I was in there and I was watching that dirty movie, and I pulled my little whacker out, you know, and gave her a little slap around. And some little boy walked in. Hell, I was still pretending like I was trying to find the fucking remote. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. No, I was just looking for the remote. So, shit. I'm not kidding you, man. No, by God. Fuck you. Yeah. No, you know, what are you doing? You know, that type of thing. And
you were like, that is the best 37 seconds I ever had.
no shit. I mean, I'll tell you what. I've jacked off in a lot of public areas, but never in a movie theater. I ain't kidding you. Especially one like that. And it wasn't even really a movie theater. They just had like TVs up in there.
It was like an abandoned car wash.
No, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Like, they had movie theater seats, but you know, not the reclining ones, because they need to upgrade a little bit. Them leather, I bet those are easier to clean.
I'm just saying they need to make it all out of tile, or make it like, you know, like a quick trip bathroom, so that make it easy cleanup.
I do like, since we're kind of talking about, I love your setup in here, man. Like, you got more toys than a fucking sex shop. I ain't kidding you. You do.
And not all of them don't pass.
That's why I thought that fucking Red Ranger had been up there. I saw a little brown stain on him.
Yeah, that's the Brown Ranger.
I know you got your legs up in the air and you're like, Tyrannosaurus.
There is a cowboy around here somewhere. No, it's a mastodon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He would shove it up your ass and put the little hat on top of your pecker, huh? You go, yee-haw, moo-moo, buckaroo.
Don't kink shame me.
I'm not. Hell, I might be into it if they weren't so curvatured.
You're more into the Transformers.
I need something a little bit more smooth.
You're more into the Transformers, aren't you?
Oh, by God. Yeah. Yeah, Optimus Prime.
I'm just waiting for... I'm surprised there hasn't been some like dildo company or something like that makes like a Transformer one, just like a knockoff, just to have fun with it.
That would be amazing. Like, you hit a button and it turns into like
a vibrator.
Yeah, a vibrator, but like
Bumblebee can be a little rabbit.
Yeah, but it's a light, you know, or something like it's it's a lamp you put on your nightstand. You just hit a button, it
Starscream turns into a pair of like fuzzy handcuffs.
Yeah, damn. Like, wouldn't that be some shit? That's probably what we're going to next. Is like everything in your household, you hit a button and it just turns into a dick.
I mean,
or a cooter.
We got to be close to it. Where like, you know, we got to be having like a USB like Z soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a pussy,
dude,
or an asshole. I mean, I'm not just disparaging.
Yeah. I did show you my Transformer video the second ago.
Yeah, I thought you were about to segue to some porn or something.
No.
This is when I did Transformer porn.
No, I did show you my Transformer video earlier. That was pretty cool. Universal, I was hanging out with, what was the guy's name again?
Megatron?
Megatron, yeah, the bad dude. Yeah. He was cool, man. He's an asshole, though.
Yeah.
He's a bully.
Yeah,
I wanted to kick him in his... whatever.
Converters?
I guess it was a muffler. I don't know what the fuck he is.
His exhaust pipe?
Yeah, that's what it was.
His Cadillac
Get
converters.
my foot stuck in there. God damn.
His transmission?
That's funny.
Stick shift? I don't know. We're just throwing out.
No, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is ADHD podcasting right here.
The funniest part about Transformers growing up is like... You remember what Megatron used to be? Like his very original toy? Like what he transformed into?
Nah.
A fucking replica pistol.
Really?
Like a like one with a scope and like an actual arm attachment. Like it was a let me find it. Yeah. Like it got canceled hard.
Mm-hmm. Not by country people, shit. It's all them liberals.
Well, it was the moms.
But then I don't understand that, because they still show that You'll Shoot Your Eye Out movie every fucking Christmas.
So this was the original toy. Look what it turns into.
Holy shit.
Do you see how good that is?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like,
You're gonna have to pop that up on the on the video.
Yeah, like that is
dude,
impressive.
That's incredible.
So like, and then also like, because Transformers started and it was like 3 different toy lines from Japan. The Hasbro was like, just bring this shit over here and mix them all together.
Right.
And so like the good guys were the cars and the bad guys were the guns and the jets and stuff like that. So Megatron, big guy, turns into a little handheld pistol, and then the other guys hold him and shoot him.
Oh, okay.
And it was the stupidest thing if you really think about it. Like, why is the big guy turning into a fucking pistol? But the toy, it was basically because we had all these different toys.
So speaking of like toy stores, you've seen the Barbie movie?
Yes.
You know how they? I thought it was actually pretty damn good.
Fantastic.
It was a really good movie.
Great writing,
dude. Margot Robbie's.
Yeah,
she's knockout.
And fucking dude, I loved Ryan Gosling as a kid.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Enough.
We like our first hotel we stayed at, the Mattel place was right behind it.
Nice.
So we fucking went in there and saw this stuff. I tell you what, there's some weird fucking people in California. Holy shit. Well, I was walking through that son of a bitch, and this guy, like, he was at the Hot Wheels section. Let me take a drink real quick.
You're good. I mean, I was about to say, you say there's weird people in California. It's like, have you met Trash?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
then it makes sense because Trash used to be in California. And I was like, oh, it makes sense.
But anyways, like, I was walking through there, and it was in the Hot Wheels section, and this some bitch turns and looks at me and got about 3 teeth in his head, and doesn't really speak English, and he goes, "Look, Bubba, Chewbacca." It was Chewbacca on a fucking, like, driving, and had a big head. You know, oh my God. Like, what about my face makes me look like I want to have a conversation with you? Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like, did you see any of the? So was it like just a guy dressed up in Chewbacca, or
no? It was a Hot Wheel car with Chewbacca driving it.
Oh.
It was just a big-headed Chewbacca. Oh. But the guy like had it on, and he was like, "Look, Bubba, Chewbacca." I was like, God damn! And he smelled like he hadn't had a shower. He smelled like Chewbacca.
Like. Man, I don't even want to imagine Chewbacca's dick. Like, it's got to be sweaty as fuck.
Do you think it's hairy, or do you think
it's got to be?
Not during his teen years, though, right?
I mean, even the baby ones are pretty.
I mean, he probably jerked off a bunch and rubbed it off.
That's how they know.
Either that, or it's got like dingleberry type stuff. He comes
in and mom's like, and he's like, tree sap or equivalent of. That's gonna be the episode title: tree sap or equivalent of. Clip it.
My God. Oh, hell.
Chewbacca jerking off. I didn't think we'd get to that topic.
What
do you think, Sting? Sting will talk to you if you hit him.
He will.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit him.
He's a good Christian man.
He was one of my idols growing up.
You'll love this then. Sting's a good Christian man. And he's very like PG, like doesn't like to do anything like sexual or like on his character. Hit him a couple of times to see if those sound effects sound off. Like punch him. Hit him a couple times. Like winter is coming. You usually go,
Who's Winter?
That ain't happening. Try harder.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what my wife tells me.
Bring it on.
That's what she tells me too. Try harder.
You can pin him. You can put him down on his back and like pin him and like.
Dude, that's incredible. That's a wonderful fucking toy.
Yeah, my kid has fun all the time with that thing.
Shit.
She's 7 now, and she fucking plays with that all the time. Wrestling buddies. They brought those back. That's AEW. Like he's still wrestling.
Yeah.
Like AEW is my shit now. I know you're not into pro wrestling much anymore, or not into it. Like I love AEW. It's a great company.
Dude, I grew up with like the Stone Cold. I mean, like that was. I mean, I wasn't really a rock fan. He kind of crested after I stopped watching it. Like in high school, I didn't really watch it, but then like as I got older and I had kids, like every Monday night we'd watch Raw.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just sit there. Their mama worked, 12-hour shifts. She'd work Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Monday was our day. We get pizza and everything else. It was like, Daddy's cooking tonight, and we'd watch Raw, man, and that was our thing. And it was a lot of fun. You know what? That's actually how I became a pro wrestler. I took my daughters, but my oldest daughter was there, and I took her to a local show. And the dude made an announcement. If there's anybody out in the stands who would like to become a pro wrestler, we have a wrestling school. And she looks at me and she goes, Dad, you could do that. And so, like, I kept it from her. I went through all the training and everything. And then told her we were going to go to a wrestling show, like 3 months later when I debuted. Because it takes a while to learn how to do it, but since I was a high school and college wrestler and stuff, like I was an athlete.
You already had a background.
Well, it wasn't just a background in that, but I was an athlete, so I could I can tell my body to do something in like my mind's eye.
Yeah, you have more control.
Yeah. So, having that training, and I mean, I just progressed through it and I became really good at it. Like, I mean, you know how quick-witted I am and shit. And I was a heel, so they'd say bad shit.
That makes sense.
They'd say bad shit, and I'd come back. Oh, is this your, that type of stuff. And oh man, it was great. But anyways, I debuted in front of my daughter, and it's, you know how you have those pictures that were taken and you have like your top 5 pictures of all time.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a picture and I'm sitting there, I'm in the ring and holding up a hand like that, holding on to the rope, and my daughter's in the in the foreground, with her back to the camera booing me.
Ah, nice.
Oh, dude, it's literally like it's probably it's definitely in my top 5 for sure.
That's a cool image, man.
It really was. And like I said, I took her to that show and like, hey, we're gonna go to the wrestling show and I'll be back in a minute, and I went and put on my tights and everything else, and she was like, where's Dad? And then music hits and I walk out and I'm
cool.
wrestling. So yeah, it was pretty cool, and it was a lot of fun, man. I had a blast.
That's a moment, man.
Oh, it was, and we always go and hang out with the wrestlers afterwards, and they'd come to the back and all that stuff. And, I end up touring around a bunch for it, not just staying local. I mean, I went out and did some other stuff with it, and it was a lot of fun, man. Like I said, I wish I'd have done that right out of college. But I did MMA right out of college, and that was a blast in itself too.
Well, I mean, like I love wrestling, and I know people like always shit on it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, I've went and watched Hamilton, like a Broadway show, and I've watched SmackDown, Raw, and I've been to NXT and stuff live. They're very similar.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's just a live stage show, but with a lot of acrobatics and a lot of theatrics and a lot of athleticism.
Oh yeah.
And dude, like it's well done, and like I can appreciate the athleticism and the talent behind it. And
for somebody, the thing that I appreciate about that is like they're stuntmen.
Yeah.
But stuntmen, when they're in a movie, how often they do stunts? Like I don't know,
a couple times.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
These guys are doing this shit every night. 6 nights a week. And for them to have that type of control on their bodies to be able to do some of the things they do without getting hurt is incredible. I mean, it really is. Like, I mean, I'm very athletic. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but fuck, it's a podcast. I got to talk about me.
You're the most athletic person that's been here.
But my finisher was a lion salt.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got an awesome photo of me doing a lion salt. I'm back over, but I'm looking down at my opponent, like, I mean, it's,
for the audience that doesn't know wrestling, that's a backflip off the middle rope.
Yeah, and like I've hit, I'm getting chills. God dang, I loved it.
Talking about it with
talking
Jericho
about
figures
shit that I was doing it.
You got Chris Jericho figures behind you.
Oh, dude, he is one of. That is why. And so that I called my move the lion pepper because it's just a little bit more spicier than lion salt.
Nice.
And anyway. And also, I could do shooting star presses and that type of thing.
Damn.
And, yeah.
Take that, Brock Lesnar.
My God.
Fall on your fucking neck.
Yeah. And actually, one time in a show, I went to go and do one, and the rope rolled. Because it rolled like that. And so I lost my footing.
Yeah.
And I got up like that. And I mean, I just literally like fell. And it was
end of a Botchamania. You know what Botchamania is?
Oh, yeah. I love Botchamania.
I love Botchamania. My goal is to eventually get a clip made, get something on, get up there to Matthew and like get it on Botchamania.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Because I want to make some memes and stuff like that. Like, I do some of the wrestling. You've seen me on my posts.
Yeah.
Like I just want to get something on there because like I love Botchamania.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's a fun thing.
Well, I mean, I've talked on this podcast before. Is like I am heavily influenced by pro wrestling whenever I started doing the stand up again in this podcast, and I wanted to treat this the way an independent pro wrestler treats their career.
Right.
And a lot of times, I've said it before, they do it like for a hot dog and a handshake, just doing these different places, just trying to get the reps in.
Opportunity to build your audience, man. I mean, that's what it is. And then you never know when you're going to get that opportunity for like the show of your dreams or whatever. So you take it. It doesn't matter what it is. You just take all of it. because you're honing your craft.
It's about making those connections.
Exactly. You're honing your craft.
Yeah.
You're getting better. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I mean, this podcast isn't like Joe Rogan.
No.
But you take every single opportunity you can, because what if one of these days you're on a podcast like that?
Yeah.
You don't want it to be your first fucking podcast.
No.
You've heard the guys on there that, I don't know if you're Joe Rogan, but I fucking am. I don't know if you can tell by the way I talk, but I'm a Joe Rogan fan. And you don't want it to be your first one and you fucking suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to be ready for the biggest platform that's out there.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people all the time is like, it's not about, I mean, yes, luck plays a heavy role in
Absolutely,
this shit,
yeah.
but you can build your own luck by doing the work.
Yes,
Being
yeah.
fucking ready, doing the reps, making the connections, and just being ready for an opportunity.
Because you're going to get fucking lucky one of these days. I mean, hell, even nobody dies a virgin, so you get lucky every now and then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the thing you just got to get ready for it.
Well, like case in point, like 2 weeks ago, I didn't have a show or anything like that, and then Roscoe was like, "Hey, do you want to do some time at Baby Roos?" He's like, "I can't pay you, just do some free time." I was like, "Sure, I'll go out there and do Baby Roos." Drove out there, and from here to Broken Arrow, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So like hour.
Absolutely.
So like I'm going out there, and I'd had a shitty day, so I was just sitting there, and I'm like sitting here, and I'm kind of dogging on myself. I'm like, man, haven't really written a lot of new stuff. Haven't really performed in a while besides hosting stuff.
Right.
Open mic stuff like that. And then I was like, am I an idiot for driving this long for like no money at all? And then I
set of your life.
had a pretty decent set.
There you go,
Pretty
Bubba.
damn good set.
There you go, Bubba.
And then the bartender, and so like the first 4 minutes, I was pretty like, I wasn't woken up yet.
Right.
At 4 minutes in, I could tell that I woke the bar up.
Right.
And everybody started getting into it. I got loosened up, and I ended up doing about 12 minutes.
Nice.
Then the bartender and her friend came over and were like, that was so funny. What are you doing like this such and such date in November?
Right.
We want to book you for the birthday show, and we're going to pay you this much, stuff like that. And just because I did that, they booked me for that.
Dude, that's awesome.
And it was just one of those things where like I was just doubting myself, like, should I be doing this shit or anything? But I'm going to do it because it's for the network. I need to get this rep in. How often do you get a free 10 minutes?
Right. Oh, yeah,
Anyway.
for sure. That's funny you say that, because Spencer booked a Claremore show.
Yeah.
And I saw the people on it, and it was Michael Patton, Nicole Miller, and then, CR was on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like, my comedy isn't like their comedy at all. You know what I mean? Like, Nicole, I've never heard her say anything cross.
Yeah.
Michael, he is a clean comic.
Yeah.
He gets a little edgy, but, I mean, his edgy
It's
is like...
PG-13.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he makes innuendos or something.
Yeah.
All of them great comics in their own. And I literally sent Spencer a message, was like, dude, is this a like age appropriate show? He was like, no, dude, you just be you. This is why I put you on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll be honest, like I was freaking scared of what was going to be there. I was super nervous. I was thinking about it a lot. And like I even reached out to Spencer a couple more times. And I get there, and him and his wife both said, hey, don't worry about this, man. We put you here for a reason. Like, we want that style of comedy here.
Yeah.
We don't want everybody to be like that.
Yeah.
But we want that style of comedy. I literally go up there and fucking kill. And I mean, you know how when you have those shows and like, I don't think Michael really likes me that much. He respects me, but I don't think he likes my or whatever, you know. Like, he came up and said, hey, man, great job. Yeah. Gave me a fist bump. And to me, that meant the world, and then Nicole comes up and is like, oh, my God, that type of thing. And CR comes up to me and said one of the nicest compliments I've ever gotten in comedy, from a local comic, and I respect him a lot. He's a great comic.
CR, his episode's coming out in about 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he said, man, you had him the whole time. And I was like, fuck, yes. And then literally 2 weeks later, I only did 15 there. Yeah. And, 2 weeks later, I was headlining for a show in Arkansas. And Katie Stiles booked it. And, we took some people up there. And Katie featured, for me. And because she had already headlined like 2 times before this.
Yeah.
So she was like, hey, I want you to headline. And I'm like, God dang, I don't know if I'm ready for that, And she goes, Dixon, like, you got it, dude. I'll put you there. Yeah. And I heard Spencer back in my head. Yeah. It's like, fuck, Bubby, you got it. And I go up there and do 45. and fucking murder.
Nice.
Fucking
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
I mean, not killed, fucking murdered. I mean, people coming up, buying me shots and everything else. We did so good, and Katie killed too.
Yeah.
I mean, she absolutely killed.
Yeah,
And our styles are a lot. Katie's styles and my style is a lot alike.
I will say though, like shout out to Katie. Like every time I've ever talked about booking a gig or anything like that, every time I'm like, hey, who should we get? Brian Dixon. Brian Dixon. She always backs you up. She's always name dropping you. That woman is a delight. I love. Oh
yeah, she's probably my best friend in comedy. I mean, to be honest, like I reach out to her just to BS with her, you know, and I've got a lot of good friends that I've made from comedy. Like Roscoe. I mean, Spencer, I mean, a lot of people, and I know they're gonna be mad that I'm forgetting Missy. Like, I mean, it's just I would have never met Missy if it wasn't for comedy, and we're great friends now, you know, and polar opposites too, and like it's those people right there that it just wow.
Because at the end of the day, we all get something out of entertaining, and there's some kind of drug that released in us, and we're we need this. So go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off. I gotta start looking at. So we did so good in that show.
Yeah,
they booked us 6 weeks later. Now, granted, we had probably 45 in the crowd.
Yeah,
$10 a head, everything like that. They book us 6 weeks later. We go back 6 weeks later. I headline again. Katie's opening for me. There's 117 through the door. We didn't advertise nothing.
Damn.
Nothing. It was all word of mouth. Like these people, they were talking about it in the bar, everything. 117. They had to turn people away, put them in the very back of the room, in a different room, just so they could be in there. And so they told us, how many they had.
Yeah.
And the next, 2 days later when we get back, and I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, I would like to let other promoters know. And if I'm getting into your business, don't worry about it. You don't have to tell me. But what do you typically run on a bar night, like on a typical Saturday night?
Yeah.
And what'd you run that night? And she said, typically we run 1,200. We ran 33 that night.
Damn.
Yeah. And it was like, holy shit. And she was like, yeah, we want you guys back. And I was like, settle. I did another 30 and all mostly brand new material.
Yeah.
And it was like, Mama, you're going to have to wait a little bit. I got to write some new shit, And so I basically got like an hour and 5, hour and 10 of good material,
nice.
And dude, it's so much fun now.
Yeah.
And I remember coming back from Arkansas, that first one, and it was right after all that, and it was like, I drove us all out there, and on the way back, I was like, guys, I feel like a real comic tonight, like an absolute real comic, not just some open micer, not just that, like a real fucking comic. And then that one, and, there's just been so much incredible things that have happened with this comedy career here recently. Like in, I don't share this to many people because it just happened, because it's like not very, it's almost unbelievable, but most of my stories are unbelievable.
That's why I had you on here, man.
So we're in California.
Yeah.
We went out there, for a vacation, but I was going to perform pretty much every night.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting booked on Flappers. And on a Thursday night, there was an incredible headliner there. And I don't want to name drop him, but he used to have a night show. And he headlined. Anyways, I'm telling my stuff. They gave me 7 minutes as like a tryout. After the show, and it was one of those shows where they made you check your cell phone. You know what I mean?
Yes,
put it in that. Obviously, this guy's getting ready to go tour. He doesn't want all this shit out. And like I said, very known person.
Yeah.
This sumbitch comes up to me, finds me, and has such kind words for me, and giving me advice. And he was like, hey man, you might want to work on, you're stepping on some laughs a little bit. Tell him. And I said, yeah, Bubba, man, I only had 7 minutes, and like I knew I had to get to it. I had a whole lot more, and because I timed myself every time so I can kind of see where I'm at. And I had 3 minutes of material where I had to shrink into 2.
Yeah.
And instead of making the adjustment and just getting to because I'm a storyteller. It doesn't all make sense if I don't tell the whole bit. And like he was like, oh yeah, I totally forget about those days where he goes, now I can talk as long as I want. It doesn't matter. Like I forget those days. I was like, I didn't want to run the light or anything
off
like
camera.
that.
Was it Coda?
Yeah. Huh?
Was it
no.
Coda? Who?
No.
It's off camera.
Oh, it was,
Really?
yeah.
Awesome, dude.
Swear to
Yeah, it'll be
God.
trimmed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This is a whole edited podcast.
yeah, that's
anything
fine.
that gets out there will be trimmed.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, he and then he at the end, you know, like I said, we had about a 5-minute conversation. He looked, he shook my hand. He says, "I'm gonna remember your name," and I was like, "Fuck, dude." Like,
That's what you want, yeah.
Like from that, you chills, man. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
Like chills. Look at that shit.
Hey, girl, or boy, girl, or girl, boy, or whatever you identify as today. This is Unloading Meat. And this episode is not brought to you by your favorite razor for your no-do parts. You know, I bet the boys on the grinder that hook up with me, boy, wish it was. Because it's just hairy down there. Like, down there just looks like Seth Rogen from that movie about the pickle. You know what I'm talking about? Like, a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, if you want to help my love life, or simply wish for me to stop talking about my pubic hair, then message your favorite razor company, like Manscaped, and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now back to the show. I don't want to get rich. I'm not looking to get fucking famous. I'm not looking to turn to the next Joe Rogan. I mean, I do like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But if I can pay my bills, get a few sponsors, and take care of my kids,
Right.
that's all I want.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, when I launched my comedy this year, you know, I had my divorces and stuff like that, paid off my house, paid off my car.
Dude, I'm so proud of you.
And
That's
then
incredible.
got
Great
out-
job, dude.
Yeah.
Great job. That
And,
is,
like, I own
I'm
this.
super proud of you. Like, I'm 100% debt free besides my house.
Yeah.
And that's the way I pay for cash for
Yeah.
everything. Like, dude, I do things different. I don't want to be a slave to the lender. You know what I mean?
Well, and, like, my thing is,
And-
like, I worked, like, not that there's anything against it or anything like that.
Right.
I'm not trying to, like,
No, I'm
shame
not
anybody
either.
like
But
that.
that's just all my choice. You know? I mean, and your choice. So.
But for better part of 13 years or so, I tried to do like the white picket fence, like
Right.
work the 9 to 5, and like I busted my ass through cell phones. I was in cell phones for like AT&T, T-Mobile, US Cellular, all that stuff. And then the final thing was like I was a district manager and I was working between Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma and driving that weekly.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a trip.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I had 7 stores between 3 states, and they wanted me to hit them every week.
Right.
Fucking impossible. And you're
Yeah.
raising 2 kids and a
Yeah.
wife and all that stuff.
Well, dude, I mean, the reason why I do it is because, like, I mean, my first divorce, I had a nice house, you know, everything like that. Wife left me. Work, they cut my hours down. I wasn't salary at the time. They cut my hours. I mean, I went from making to 6 figures down to like working 40, you know, because I was working double time on Sunday, 12 hours. Shit, some of my checks were 80-something hours. You know, and I mean, making more money than I ever seen. And then it was like my whole life crumbled. And, you know, I had a Chevy Avalanche and everything else, and this nice house. Well, hell, my house ended up getting foreclosed on, and I was so, you know, bound and determined to prove to her like I could do it. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't see, you know, I couldn't see in front of me. And it was the most stressful time of my life. And I mean, from that point on, I was like, never again. I mean, I had my truck still, but it was like, fuck, I moved in with a buddy, tried to rent out the house to pay for it. The people that I had in there, they paid a month's worth of rent and then stiffed me on 6 months. And it was like, fuck. So I'm trying to, you know, pay for all this, and it just wasn't working, man. I ended up getting my house foreclosed on, and I was like, never again. Like, I do not want to be in that situation. Like, I felt like the biggest bum and the biggest loser of all time because I had to run a bad luck, you know. The oil market went down. You know, and I was like, fuck. So, I totally understand. You know, when shit hits you in the mouth, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get punched in the mouth. You got to dodge. You know? And, but it's crazy. But so after that Flappers show, our rental car was a Polestar 2. You know what those are?
No.
It's an electric car.
Okay.
And so they have a Polestar, which is like the lower grade one, and then a Polestar 2. And this Polestar 2, I'm not kidding you, man. It has a function on there where you can figure out how many G's you're pulling. You floor it. And I don't know if you've ever driven an electric car, but like as soon as you touch that pedal, I mean, it goes. Like it's no hesitation. You just, you know, it was like, you know, the Jetsons, you know, however that goes. Anyways, like this car, you could pull 1.2 G's when you floor it. Like seriously, my kids were in the back seat, not this time, but like I was weaving in and out of traffic. Yeah, well, I left them some bitches in the parking lot while Daddy went to tell jokes. You know, like I said, they give them a B game. Fuck them. Fuck them kids.
It's like their heads and wrote like what's that death proof whenever their heads like snap back.
But like I mean, and it was I was driving like I was Dale Earnhardt, you know, and but anyways, I come and I needed to charge it, and I found one of those super station things at UCLA.
Yeah.
So I pulled in there into a little parking garage, charged it, and like it gave me the opportunity to just like analyze and like process everything that just happened.
Yeah.
Like that whirlwind of emotions you have when you're on stage sometimes, and like doing it above your head, like, oh my God, it gave me that time. And then I was go to the highway or get done charging and get on the highway. And I mean, I have no idea where I'm at. I know I'm on the 405, and it's like, holy, I got the windows down, like, and it's dark. And then I come to this place where it looks like it drops down. It's like a bridge, you know, but it's not. It's in the fucking mountains, and you can see the silhouettes of the mountains in the moonlight, just sheer cliffs. And I mean, it's like just basically straight down at like a 30-degree angle. And I'm like, fuck it. I hit that Polestar. I'm going 111 down the 405. And I ain't even shitting you, Bubba. It was one of the craziest things. And I was like, I am sitting here just chasing my dream, you know? I mean, and it was, you know, it was late. There was no cars on the road. It was super late. I didn't give a shit. Hell, I was a little tipsy. No, I'm not kidding. I wasn't tipsy. I was fucking drunk. Nah.
Spoiler alert.
Nah, I mean, I was just, you know, just driving. I was like, fuck, I'm living my dream. And then it reminded me of a Rogan podcast where he's talking about driving his Porsche down, you know, all the twists and turns. And the day before, we literally drove from LA, where we were at, like by LAX, from the beach, like what's that famous Santa Monica? We were right by Santa Monica, is where we were staying, and we drove all the way up to. I mean, we drove an hour along the beach, and I mean, just got to see some of the coolest stuff. God, what was that TV show that with the kids in high school? That's where. God damn it! It was on MTV.
Sweet Valley High.
No, it was on MTV, and it was just the name of it was the name of the town was it. Anyways,
the OC.
No. Anyways, short story long. This was out in the bougie part.
Okay.
You know, the really high dollar one, Beverly Hills, that type. I think it was Beverly Hills. No, it wasn't Beverly Hills 90210. It was
Melrose
something
Place,
else.
no.
It was like that. I don't fucking know. Anyways,
Yeah.
edit that part out.
Spoiler alert: she was 16. She got pregnant.
No, it was. So we went up to we drove, and I mean, it was just the whole day was incredible, man. This is my first time in California. Like I've never seen anything like that. The waves were incredible. I was body surfing. Like, I mean, I am literally chasing my dreams, you know, and my whole family's with me. They're supportive of it, and it was like in a Polestar. Never even heard.
Yeah.
Only Polestar I ever heard of before we worked at a titty bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was
like
I thought that was the name of the store called Grand Theft Auto.
This was like the greatest car I've ever driven. And like I'm a fucking redneck.
Yeah.
Like I like trucks. I drive a Jeep, you know. And this car, I swear to God.
I know you drive a Jeep.
Yeah.
My neighbors know you drive a Jeep.
It's got a fucking system in it.
Pulls up and it's like Mama
Maria. Oh my God, that's a great fucking song, man. But the funny part was I was coming here to your place, and one of the streets is
Yeah.
there's a boulevard, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, don't give away so I don't get robbed.
Oh no, I mean, but anyway, like you have to make more turns and shit. But anyways, I was driving down, and I was like, oh, this is like California, and except it ain't like California. No. It's a different type. I tell you what, I saw one lady on the side of by her house over there, and I mean, it was a lot like California then, because I mean, she had her teeth hanging out, and she had looked homeless.
Yeah.
Had about 3 teeth in her head. And, they barely cover up in California. And I promise, I think she had a nipple hanging out, but they were a lot lower than the ones I saw. Yeah. I mean, they were down by her belly button. You know what I mean?
Damn.
No, but I still
South Pole
look.
titties.
Well, I mean, I pulled over and jerked off. I mean, why not? I'd jerk off in public. No, I don't.
They get old enough, and then instead of putting our dicks up in our fucking waistbands, they put their tits down in there.
By God, yeah, hold a nipple in there.
Waistbands go up.
Yeah, tighten up that belt one more notch.
Oh
no, but I mean, seriously, it was like wow, like that whole California experience, and it was just, it was like when I was in 5th grade, and don't hate on me for this because he was a good guy at the time.
Okay.
Like, I did a Bill Cosby himself set. I swear to God, I did. And
did you have Jello pudding?
No, it was are you familiar with Bill Cosby himself? Like that bit?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that show. Well, there was where he talked about alcohol, and then the different types of drugs. And he talked about cocaine. And he was like, it just makes you laugh for no reason. He's like you see guys, and he's like, oh, wait a minute. I went over to the Burger King, and it was like a 3-minute bit of that. Well, anyways, I tried out for it and did that bit for the tryout, and the teacher's like, well, I was in 5th grade. I didn't really know what cocaine was. You know what I mean? But I did it in front of her, in front of the whole class. And
5th grade, you're doing a Bill Cosby bit about cocaine.
About cocaine. And she was like, well, you can't do that. And I mean, but if you find a different way to do it, you can't talk about drugs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't even know what cocaine was drug, I think.
Yeah.
And so anyways, like I did peer tutoring. When I was in 5th grade, I'd go to like 3rd grade class and hang out with them and, do all that stuff. One day I had, I was joking around. I was being a ham, and those 100% stars, like you did a good job, you get a gold star. Well, I put all them sumbitches all over my face, and somebody's like, "What's wrong with you?" As one of the kids said, and I go, "I got teacheritis," and like I was like, "Wait a minute, maybe I could do that bit, but say that I have teacheritis and use that," and literally like. I did that on stage, and like adults who knew what it was, like came up to me afterwards and was like, that was awesome. I didn't even know like what I was doing there, but like I've had this dream ever since I was in 5th grade. And, I mean, even as a young kid, because no matter how bad you're feeling, no matter how low you are, you can watch a comedy set if they're good. And I mean, it just takes you away from it, man. And like, God, I hate to get all like, emotional stuff. I mean, not emotional, but, sensitive. But I mean, that's what I want to do,
Yeah.
There's so much bad shit going on out there.
Yeah.
So many people like who are going through shit, man. Like just make them forget about it for
Have a little
bit.
levity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just break it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if I could do that, and you said, earlier, you don't want to make it big, you don't want to be rich, and dude, I fucking want it all.
Yeah.
Like I don't care, I want it all, and there's a lot of like I want to make it big, like real big.
Yeah. Well, my thing is I want to be comfortable. I want to be to where I don't have to worry about the bills or anything like that anymore, and I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, what I'm happy with, which is stand up and podcasting.
Yeah.
Like,
so my wife is a sugar mama. I mean, very much. Like I make a fantastic living too. I'm over a plant in my industry.
Yeah.
And we have 4 plants, but I'm over one of them. And I've got a great job, make a good living, but my wife is a sugar mama. She owns a speech, physical, and occupational therapy clinic here in Tulsa. She has 2 facilities, and I mean she works 1 day a week treating patients.
Yeah.
But a couple days a week she got to go in the office, and like I want to be her sugar daddy. I want it to where she don't even have to worry about it. You know, and she don't have to worry about anything now, anyways. But like. Goddamn, like that's I want all of it, and like I said, my son's got aspirations of playing in the majors one day, which is funny because my wife's family is very successful.
Yeah.
Everybody in their family is fucking successful. So Thanksgiving's pretty fucking awkward when Dixon shows up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like seriously, one of them plays. Do you know who Michael? I think his name's Michael Ray. He's a country singer. He sings that "Whiskey and Rain" song.
No, I'm not.
Well, okay.
Well, sure.
Well, he plays for him. He plays lead guitar for him. Tours all around the world. The guy had a #1. Her other cousin won the Stanley fucking Cup like 2 years in a row. Yeah, I've drank beer out of the Stanley Cup because of her fucking family. And I'm not even a hockey fan. I don't even know the fucking rules of offsides or anything. And I've drank beer out of the Stanley Cup. Holy shit. But my youngest son, when we went to go and see the Stanley Cup, he had just found a love for baseball. And I'm telling him about the history of it because it's one of the greatest trophies. Being an athlete, you know about the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest trophies in the history. More history, more lineage, more prestige in that trophy than anything. And I'm telling him about it. And he looks up at me dead in the eye and he goes, Do they have this in baseball? And I said, well, yeah, they do. It's not Stanley Cup, but it's a different trophy. And I said, you also get rings too, and they're super big.
Yeah.
And, showed him a picture, and later on I showed him a picture of one. But he goes, I want to win one of these in baseball. And I'm like, and then I thought back to whenever I was 5th grade.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, this dude's just found his dream,
Yeah.
And it just, dude, it's kind of crazy that life comes full circle,
And that's what I'm trying to learn.
And you don't even realize it until later on whenever you're thinking, you're putting shit all back together, It's like,
connecting all the dots and shit.
Yeah. It's super incredible, man. And here's the deal. I may not ever make it. I may not ever. But by God, I'm going to fucking try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't become as successful in high school wrestling. I ended up getting a full ride scholarship to college. That's the only way I was going to school because I was that poor.
Yeah.
And I worked every single day at that. I mean, 5 hours a day. I'd get up in the morning, go run 9 miles, pull weight, everything. On my lunch breaks, I was in the wrestling lunch at school.
Yeah.
I went to the wrestling room or the locker room, hung out in there, so I didn't have to be around food because I was pulling so much weight. I mean, I was the first one in there and the last one to leave. I would stay for the kids' practices afterwards, help them, and all that stuff because I realized once you teach something, it slows everything down and you really,
understand.
You hit the moves. You perfect them because you're having to tell somebody each individual step, and your mind's never really broke it down that way. And so I'm gonna work that fucking hard to do it. And like I said, I took a lull before California, kind of. Oh man, she ain't. But now, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm re-energized, Bubba.
Yeah.
And so I hope it's gonna do good.
Well, it's kind of like with me and the podcast. Building this and building the brand and stuff. It was I told Joe we're selfish for so long, and right when COVID happened is whenever I lost my job there.
Right.
And then I had nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
And it's I was I said it before, at one point I was Mr. Magenta in town. I dyed my hair pink. I wore pink kicks. I was Mr. T-Mobile. I wore everything.
Right.
Painted that room, built a fucking hardwood floor, put that in that building. And then when I got let go, I had nothing to show for it.
Right.
And I was like, man, something happened to me where it's I can't do that again. Mm-hmm. To where I want to build my own thing. And
yes, exactly.
I started building my own company, built the thing, and I'm gonna live or die by this. And like I said, I worked my ass off to where the house is paid for, the car's paid off, and where this year it's if I keep my bills down low and DoorDash and do freelance work all the time, I can make this work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was a small business owner as well before I ended up selling my company and then taking a job with it. Yeah. And the main reason why I took this job, I mean, it pays great, but we were tired of paying $800 a month for insurance.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, go there and get great insurance and cheap. And then, I mean, it's not only are we making that good income, but we're also saving $800 a month, or $600. I mean, whatever it is, $600. So dude, and it's just, gosh, love it. It's,
well, and it allows me like this now, just the more freedom. Because also with my scheduling with my kids, with my custody and stuff like that, it's it's damn near impossible for me to get a full-time job right now. Like I have my kids like every Monday, Tuesday, take them to school Wednesday, and then I have them every Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, dude, you got a fantastic schedule. I know it's
every other weekend. Every other weekend.
Yeah,
I get that.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I know
it's a great schedule, but it's hard to find a job around that.
Right.
So, because like, and then also like, I'm sure you've had kids. You have kids.
They live in Florida though. So
okay. Well, like,
yeah,
now,
I'm an absentee father.
Well, with Oklahoma schools now since COVID, it's like at least once a month they're just going to use one of their winter days and just give a Friday off, and you have to basically take off work or whatever and have your kid do in home school, and you have to do it through a Chromebook, and so like they just expect all the parents to take off on one Friday a month, and just do that, and I need to mute my phone.
Oh, don't worry, we can edit that.
Thank you, Isaiah Blue.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck Isaiah. No, he's a great kid,
he's
man.
A good kid.
I really enjoy Isaiah.
I love him, man.
Yeah, I did his podcast too, and he for the picture or the announcement or whatever, he was like, "Hey, man, I thought it'd be funny if like because." He was like, if you came out of the bathroom, and like, do not go in there. I was like, he's too young to know like the Ace Ventura reference from it. So I was like, fuck that. So anyways, I was like, yeah, no problem, man. And I was like, so he thought I was going to be sitting on the toilet or something. I get into this fucking shower. It's got a glass door on it, stark fucking naked. And there's like a little towel rack, that covered up my tallywhacker. And anyways, he opens the door. He's like, my guest for this week, Brian Dixon. I'm standing there going, it's dark fucking naked. And I mean, the whole place erupted. Like there was not 14. There's 4 people. 14 inches is what I meant to
14
say.
14 inches?
14 inches. What? No,
it was a cold shower.
There was, yeah, my God. Yeah. I got a joke that I used. These two old boys I was pissing at the chili bowl one time. The sprint car races at the fairgrounds.
That's another catchphrase. We'll put it on thumbnail. Pissing at the chili bowl.
Pissing at the chili bowl, and this old boy to my right, and they were buddies, and they kind of one of them looks over at his buddy on the other side of me, and he goes, "Oh man, this water's cold," and this guy goes, "Yeah, it's deep too." Everybody's heard that shit. Yeah. Well, I'm staring dead straight, and I go, "Boys, I got a scar on the head of my penis as proof there's alligators in the sewers." And they looked at me and started dying. This old boy laughed so hard he farted. You know what I mean? And I never heard anything like that. And I said, well, fuck it.
Well, he caught him mid-piss. He was releasing.
I know. He was just straining, I guess. Hell, I don't know.
It's like when you're fucking and a fart slips out.
My God. But no, that Isaiah, he's a fun kid, man. I really like him, and he's getting so much better.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I appreciate people that are doing the work.
Right.
They're putting in the work. Isaiah's one of them. And there's people that are like doing the reps. They're really pushing to get better at their craft. They're not taking this as just a hobby.
Right.
There's people that do that and do great. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. I'm not disparaging.
There's people that do that and are shitty too.
Yeah.
And they how come you're getting shows and I'm not? It's because I'm fucking funny.
Yeah.
You're
funny and you're doing the work, you're being good at the right time, and you're not being traditionally an asshole to people.
Well, I am.
Well, I mean, like
they can't. I used to be an MMA fighter, dude. They can't really do
there's
shit.
Asshole, but there's
it.
also business asshole, where you're not burning bridges when you go to a fucking building.
Yeah, I burned a couple of them, but not to the owner. Just these some of the comments.
One thing you brought up when you talk about your Arkansas show that I really wanted to hit back up on is the same thing when I was hosting. Whenever I did the Go Show. My biggest thing is always asking the promoter, "Hey, did you make money? How much you make tonight? Like, did you guys do a good? Like, because in my mind, that tells me how good I am. Is if they made a profit and they were actually don't regret having us there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when I did the Go Show, my last one that I headlined, dude, they lost money. Oh, it was bad. Like there was the Jinx Union game that night. There's so many other reasons that it could have been, Yeah. And I didn't draw at all. Like I had 20-something people tell me that they were going to go. Yeah. And literally like, hey, friends, you know, like people that I like. Yeah. And none of them showed up. Yeah. And I was so fucking. I apologized to Gene. He went to pay me. I said, "No, man, you keep it." And he goes, "Absolutely not." Like, and I was like, "I am embarrassed, man. I'm so sorry." Like, but at the same time, like, I didn't put the work in to promote it the way that I should have. I didn't hang flyers. I did a Facebook event. That's it. Yeah. And like I didn't make a promo video. I didn't put it on my TikTok, anything like that. And I was like, fuck. So, I had a big head and I got humbled real quick. But that's a learning experience.
Yeah.
And,
I like hearing that though. That's a great take to hear though, from as you learn from it and you realize
absolutely.
where your opportunities are.
Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I have a big, gigantic ego.
Oh, sure.
I do.
Well, we all have to have one kind of to get on the stage.
I have a gigantic ego, but I think
if your dick out of the way, ego out your way.
Well, I mean, but I am probably one of the most like self-reflecting people you've ever seen. Like, I am all about, like, I got it tattooed on my arm right here. It says, relentless pursuit of perfection, knowing you'll never achieve perfection, but you're bound to run into excellence along the way.
Oh, man, that's deep.
Like, I mean, I am, like, every day, like, I go and reflect, okay, what can I do better? Like, I record all my sets, whether it's audio or video or something like that. I watch them back. I look at my jokes, what I miss.
Yeah.
I look at my stage presence. I mean, everything.
Yeah, because you're one of the few people I've noticed that that records everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it's a big prop to you. Like
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of people don't, and it's a big thing. Like you've helped me record my stuff too.
Yeah.
Like it's like you got to know how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how your body language is. How
Absolutely.
Like, you never know. Like,
yeah. You and you can also see when you're comfortable in a bit too. If you video it, like if you're uncomfortable in a bit, like when it's new, like you kind of know when it's ready by your body language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you watch your body language while you're doing it, or watch how you're stumbling through it, kind of like I am explaining this, you can really see what part you need to work on or hone in.
Yeah.
And that's, there's so much stuff, and the crowd reacts to your body language more. Look at Brian Regan.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he isn't funny until he starts doing his facial expressions and that type of thing. And then he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, all that shit. That son of a bitch has recorded himself and done it in front of the mirror and everything. Like, what if I do this? What if I do this here?
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do as comedians. You've got to sharpen it every day. And whenever I first started, one of the things I tried, I literally have said this to people. Well, I don't want to go up on stage and tell people the same jokes every time. Like, I've got to have new shit all the time. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
gotta get the reps into where.
Oh my God. You've got to do your bits until, if there was a school shooting that came through, or an Amber Alert came through on your phone, like, and you could, oh my God, that's awful, and then get right back into where you were at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was probably a bad analogy,
no.
but
I mean,
like the worst thing.
I
shit, I got a gun pulled on me at a comedy show. I had to disarm the sumbitch.
Yeah, you told me that one.
Oh my God. So yeah, that's why I say it. Like, that shit happens, Yeah. After a show, some dude was gonna commit. I can finally talk about it because the trial got over and everything. But the dude, I did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't making fun of the guy. Wasn't anything. Like, I did no crowd work during the set.
Yeah.
And after the
not that
show,
excuses it.
No. But after but I mean, like, literally every time I tell a story, everybody's like, well, what'd you do? I'm like, nothing. You don't understand. Like, let me finish the story. Yeah. So, like, did nothing. And so the guy ends up, I found out later that 2 months prior to this, he had $2,000 in his wallet, and goes somewhere and gets mugged and beaten up real bad by 3 guys. And then they pull out his wallet, find out there's a lot of money. And I don't know how he got the $2,000, whatever. He might have won at the casino or something. But anyways, they go to shoot him. They go to execute him, basically. Like, they shoot him. The guy sets up and they shoot him, and shoot him through the arm right here. So, like, they were trying to kill him.
Yeah. And
then they end up running away. So anyways, he's in this bar, and this is 2 months. There's this guy sitting here, and they're hammered. I mean, this guy and this other dude.
Yeah.
Like, the dude on the left actually, I wasn't drinking that night because it was an Angela Teague show, and wasn't drinking that night because I wanted to be clear headed on stage, and so I had nothing to drink. walk off stage, get done. It was my first time headlining, and walk off stage and pretty much shows over. The guy's like, "Hey, let me buy you a shot," and I'm like, "Man, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll come right back." And blah blah. He was like, "No, let's do it right fucking now." This big tall dude, and not the one that pulled the gun. And I said, "All right." So I go and take a shot, and then whatever it was, and then I go to the bathroom real quick. And as I'm in the bathroom, there's a knock on the door, and it's the bartender, and she was like, "Brian, I need your help. Tim threw up on the bar," which was, the guy who bought me a shot.
Yeah.
And like I said, this son bitch had been drinking since it was open. You know what I mean?
It was bound to happen.
And and so he throws up all over the bar. And she's like, "I can't do throw up. I can't. Can you help me? Can you help me?" So I was like, "Yeah, go and get a mop bucket and everything. I'll go back in there and." So I walk in there, and this some bitch, like, literally all over the bar. He's scooping it off and going, "I'm sorry, this never happened before. I've never done it before." And literally, like, right now, I go and get him a trash can. I'm like, "All right, pile it off in here." He's got shit all over him. This guy sitting over here has got barf splatter all over him, you know what I mean? And I'm like, "Hey, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Shit happens. I'm not making fun of the guy, anything like that. I'm just trying to be kind and help, because in my eyes, these guys are fans, and he was like, "Hey, this guy right here goes, this isn't your show. This is the bartender, like blah, blah, blah." I was like, "No, I don't want to say her name." Yeah. He was like, "No,
bartender,
the bartender, it's her show. This is her bar. Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "No, she asked me for help. And, like, she can't handle this stuff, so she asked me for help. I'm just here helping, man. I promise." And he was like, and then he says, like, "You look like the guy who shot me." And he turns, and I'm in the middle. Like, these guys were seated pretty much, so I'm kind of like behind him, trying to help. And he goes, "You look like the guy you look like the guy that jumped me," is what he said. And he turns, and I thought he was going to, like, get a better view, and he has a revolver in his hand, and he literally sticks it, like, right in my face. And, like, I ducked down and went like that. And I can't do it justice
instinctively,
but that's a wrestling move. Like how you just boom, you're shooting, you ducking and shooting it under.
It's like that bass root, and like
it was literally like instant. As soon as I realized it, and
bang it up, bang it up,
bang, bang, bang. No, I'm not. Bang, bang, bang. Don't you ever do this.
I know that this may sound like oh, it doesn't, but like everything slowed down. Like, it was just microseconds that I was seeing as seconds. And like I literally saw the trigger coming back. Like, he didn't have it cocked on the revolver, but I saw the trigger coming back. And like, as I'm doing it, and I get him against the bar, and he's laying out on the bar with a gun like this. And I'm standing over him, I'm like, "Dude, stop. Like, stop. I've got a wife and a family." He goes, "I don't fucking care." And he's got this gun, and he's trying to shoot me while I'm on top of him. And I'm seeing it go back. I finally disarm him. And the gun goes across the bar. Well, guess who ends up picking it up? The fucking guy that threw up on the bar picks the son of a bitch up. He's like, "Okay, I got it." And I'm like, "Bullshit." And this dude's like 6'7", like 300 and something pounds, like a big guy. And I'm like, "Dude, Tim, like, put the gun down." "No, it's okay. I got it. And I'm like, "Dude," and I end up tackling this son of a bitch. And like, "Just give me the gun. Like, I'm not going to get shot on accident when I just disarmed a dude." And so I got the gun, and I have the gun. I walk out to the smoke area, and there's 2 comics out there. And when this happened, there was 4 comics in the room.
Yeah.
Or there was 4 people in the room, and like a guy and his wife were there. Alex
Horner?
Yes, he was there, and his wife. And like, they end up running off and everything. Cops get called. I go out there. Boyd was there, and he was out in the smoke hole. He wasn't inside.
Yeah.
He was out in the smoke hole with his buddy. And I'm holding this gun, and I mean, I took the bullets out and everything, and he was like, and I mean, I'm just in shock.
Yeah.
And you know, it was crazy, dude. I didn't leave the house for 3 months. Like, I didn't leave the house for 3 months, and like, it was crazy. Like, I held it together right there. I called my wife and said, "Hey, something major happened. I have to stay here for a little while. I won't be home for a little bit. I'll tell you everything when I get there." And I'm holding it together. I literally walk in and just sob. Like, my wife grabs me. Oh man, I'm tearing up.
Well, yeah, just the emotional release. Yeah.
And I mean, just tearing up thinking about it. And my wife like grabs me, just embraces me, and I mean, I'm crying hard. You know what I mean? Like like sobbing. And dude, it was shit.
You're good, man.
No, I know. I ain't worried about it. Shit, I don't give a damn. But like whenever I would, like, I couldn't sleep for a while because every time I'd sleep, I had this dream that I was like living a simulation. Like, everything that happened during the day okay, so I was laying in a hospital bed, and like, it was like a video or a camera was on me. I was laying in a hospital bed, and then like Wayne's World, you know, but everything that happened to me, like with everything bandaged up, and he like had my face was all bandaged, like he shot me in the face. But I would have a dream while I was in the hospital bed that everything that happened to me during the day, I was dreaming. Like, and it would be like everything, like from peeing, like, I mean, and it would be the shit that happened that day. It was like I was living in a simulation. I mean, I wake up, you know, just panicked and like, you know, like just making sure it wasn't real.
Yeah.
And dude,
it's almost like your subconscious was like searching through that day to look for more threats.
Well, it turns out, this guy, you know, he had significant trauma that happened to him. But it turns out that he was going to commit a mass shooting there, and it wasn't like cops went and searched his house and found a manifesto in there, and like he had a 5-shot revolver, and he waited till there's 4 people in there and him.
Damn.
Crazy, huh?
Fucking crazy.
Like crazy. And like I said, the court stuff just all just recently got done, and I mean, it was wild, dude. It was convoluted and all this other stuff. It was a lot of stuff, but that's basically what happened. And I mean, it was crazy. And I didn't do comedy at all for like 3 months, you know? And what the crazy part was I know what the significance was the first time I got paid for comedy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't my first headline. It was the first time I got paid for comedy. Yeah. And it was $20. And, you know, who gives a shit? Yeah. And it was an Angela Teague show. I literally went around with that $20 and had everybody sign it. This motherfucker signed it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He signed it.
Wow.
Like his and in big letters. But, you know, I'm gonna frame it. And but dude, it was crazy. Like, you know.
You should take it to Walmart, buy some ammo.
Nah, yeah, like that'd be the right trash thing to do, redneck thing. But like I'm gonna end up framing it. It's in my underwear drawer. Whenever I want to stare at it every day. Yeah. When I start my podcast studio, it's gonna be hanging up in the background. Yeah. No, but like I said, that's what I'm saying, man. My stories are fucking unbelievable.
Well, not only that, but you never know what somebody's going through on a day. Like,
no, and I mean, I know this guy was going through significant trauma. He let it eat him. You know,
I'm just talking about even you in general, because like, you had told me this a couple weeks ago when I was doing the show, and like I gave you a ride home. Like, Uber was super expensive. You're like, hey,
Uber was $60 for 9 miles. Yeah, like there's no way I'm paying that. So I was like, hey man, you take me home?
Yeah, I have no problem with people rides. Yeah, and so like, you kind of told me a little bit of that, what was going on during that time on our way back. Because like, I love riding with comics, stuff like that. That's the time when we kind of chat. And that's honestly why I love this. Because we can have a better conversation, get to know each other, be friendly. And just so have those cameras going. Yeah. But, you know, if anything gets too raw or anything like that, it gets cut. You know what I mean? I want you guys to have trust with me.
Yeah.
I never want to betray my guest trust.
Oh, yeah.
I never want somebody to regret coming on here.
Right. No,
You know what I
that
mean?
story
Yeah.
is totally open now. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Use it like, I mean, it's just like I joke.
It's a hell of a story, man.
I joke around like you've heard of the Midas touch, right?
Yeah.
Everything you touch turn to gold. I got the mid-ass touch. Everything I touch turns to shit. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, like I've got so many unbelievable stories, and that's the thing is like, I mean, I am living my dream, dude.
Yeah.
Like I grew up dirt poor, you know, in a 700 square foot house, single mom, not knowing who my real daddy was, obviously.
Yeah.
And, you know, just a drunk stepdad.
Yeah.
You know, mentally, physically abused. Like when I was 18 years old, I knocked out my stepdad because he tried to grab me by the throat, put him in the hospital, had to call an ambulance and stuff. Just one punch knockout. And I mean, he was trying to hurt me. But I went from that. And, you know, whenever you're a kid, you have dreams of what your life's going to be like, especially when you're going through bad shit.
Yeah.
Like, I could have never have dreamed this shit.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
Yeah.
Ever have dreamed this shit, you know? Whether I make it or not, like, I mean, I'm going to.
Yeah.
But whether I make it or not, I am living a life that is beyond my dreams. You know what I mean? Like the house that I live in now, the wife that I have, the stepkids that I have.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible, dude. Like, and I mean, could it get better? Absolutely, it could. And it's going to.
Yeah.
But like, for the most part, the day to day, the overall bird's eye view of it, it's like, I mean, I sit in my Jeep sometimes and like my first car had no paint on it. It was all primer. Like, and I had to drive that to Broken Arrow High School. I ended up transferring from Union to Broken Arrow to wrestle for them because they had a great wrestling team. I had no problem. I was the most made fun of kid in school for the vehicle I drove. You know, you got kids driving Porsches and Lexus and Audis and that type of shit. And I've got this this Toyota truck. I don't even know what it was, but it had no paint on it. And sometimes the clutch wouldn't work or the starter wouldn't work. So you'd have to go down and jiggle the starter up underneath it. Like, so you get some bitch to start.
Yeah.
And dude, like, I mean, I'm driving my dream car, you know, like it's, oh my God, like it's more than what I could ever imagine. And I mean, if like, seriously, I'm getting sappy, but if anybody's out there and like, you're going through a hard time, like it's gonna get better.
Well, it's
it's gonna get better. Just, I've never seen hard work not pay off.
Yeah.
Ever. And sometimes it feels like it's not going to pay off.
Yeah.
But I promise you, just keep fucking grinding and it's going to.
Yeah,
you
like
like that
believe
grinding, don't you? My God. Oh, my God.
I usually just refer to it as Grindr. It's, an app. It's a free app. I mean, you can pay for to be boosted, but I mean, I'd rather.
Yeah, you won't pay to get boosted, don't you? By God.
Buy boosted. Fucking Grindr.
Yeah, well, yeah, fucking Grindr. Fucking Grindr.
I look like I'm hoagies and Grindr.
Navy beans, meatball sandwich, sloppy joe.
We're gonna get fucking copyright strike.
Oh, sorry.
Oh God, it's everywhere. There's blood everywhere. There's blood. Why didn't you help me get sponsored by Manscaped? Gonna save my bush. You're gonna save my bush. I mean, I'll fucking waste one of my bits. I talk about how, like, between us butt bandits and the old people, we keep the glue business in business.
That is funny.
Old people need lube.
Oh my God, I tell you, yeah.
What was that? Do you remember like the ESPN announcers they'd have on SNL? That was like for like the women's leagues.
Oh yeah.
And it was like they'd have like sponsored by Vagisil and stuff like that. And it was like Jason Sudeikis. I just keep doing like Vagisil commercials. Oh my God.
Vagisil. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's funny.
Vagisil. I scream, you scream, we all scream for vagina cream. Vagisil.
What happened to Saturday Night Live? I mean, seriously, I know it's still running, but it might as well not be.
Yeah,
like it's not. I mean, the only thing good about it, which was always good, is the Weekend Update.
Weekend Update, yeah.
Dude, those two guys, like,
I will say also the what's it called? Like Do Not Destroy or something like that. It's like the writers. It's like the new version of like the Lone Island.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 young writers that are in the writers' room, and they do like a digital skit every week.
Oh, okay.
Oh my fucking god, they are hilarious.
Okay.
Highly recommend watching
Okay, I'll
those.
definitely have to. Yeah, because I mean,
they're like pre-recorded little skits they do like in the writers' room, like when they're trying to come up with a weekend or something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll usually involve like the guest star of the week coming in, and they start out. I love bits where they start out like just a normal day, and then they just go insane.
Yeah.
And those are like that. They'll start out calm, like just small, and then they'll just go to 11. And they're funny. They're fucking hilarious. But yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, honestly, Shane Gillis around that time is kind of when I started noticing the decline a lot. I mean, that guy rebounded pretty quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fuck, Shane Gillis is a fucking monster. Love that dude.
Yeah.
But goddamn, yeah, like I don't know, like I watch it in bits and pieces, but it's not destination TV anymore. But I mean, really, nothing's destination TV anymore. Man, Brian, thank you for coming. This has been fucking fun.
Man, I'm so sorry it's taking me this long. We've chatted back and forth. There's just been.
There's got to be a sequel episode too, because there's more to talk about.
Oh, dude, we talk. I can talk for 5. I told you I go all fucking night, Bubba.
So what I like to tell people is like, some of my best guests, what I like to do is like, I'm going to have repeat guests. So I'm trying to give everybody at least their one shot spotlight episode. Because like, I want this show to be like a spotlight of a comedian every week. Here's a comedian for a couple hours. Right. Get to know them if you want to know them. And a lot of times it's their first podcast or sometimes on video. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and make them look like $100 or $1,000.
Yeah.
Can't say $1 million on here. I don't got that budget. Make them look like $1,000.
Well, I've seen the fucking pool that you're pulling from, and ain't none of them looking like $1 million.
Million pesos, Canadian. No, like I just want to give you guys a spotlight, but what I don't tell people is like, I want to have guests come back, but I want to do it for like holidays or like special edition. Nice. Like do like a Halloween episode, do like a Christmas episode, Thanksgiving one, and have like multiple people come back and like do like a best of.
Oh, dude, that's great.
Kind of like how Rogan does like the Save the Trees. I want to do stuff like that where we have different themed episodes and have a whole bunch of groups coming in here and just chat. We did it a couple months ago for my birthday episode.
Really?
In July, I had Roscoe, Katie with Roscoe, Katie, Isaiah Blue. And me, we were gonna have Katie Style and Zach Angel, but then they had something come up the day of. But I was supposed to have like 6 comedians here, and we were just gonna just like roast me and just chat. And what I ended up doing is like I grilled pork steaks and grilled chicken. We had a barbecue.
Fuck yeah.
And then came over here and talked for 2 hours.
Oh, perfect.
And I'm like, I want to do more of those.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm like, we should like everybody bring some sides like that, do like a little potluck or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Have a fucking grill cookout, and then do a podcast and have some beers.
Perfect. Sounds great, man. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be drinking me some White Claws. Them some bitches
I can get fucked up on White Claws.
Oh, I'm a white girl drunk on White Claws.
They are delicious. And you don't feel bad.
I don't give a shit if you feel like. I don't care if somebody. Oh, those are. I don't give a fuck. They're delicious.
Yeah. Well,
you ever tried beer? It tastes like ass.
Yeah. But all that, I get bloated and shit too.
A bunch too, but
like all the beer stuff makes me super bloated and stuff like that. But White Claw, I can drink a whole fucking 12-pack of those. I feel great.
Oh yeah. And the next
They're
day,
dangerous.
the next day you're not hungover either because I get a little hungover.
I wish they were better. Like the most ingenious thing. We'll wrap it up here. The most ingenious thing I ever saw was like Sonic. They had Sonic hard seltzers. And they had like the cherry limeade. And they had the ocean water and stuff like that. They weren't that great.
No, they weren't good.
But like the right idea. Like honestly, like back in the day, like we would all get 44 drinks of Sonic and just pour in a little like, Crown Apple or something like that. My favorite thing to do, get a cherry for anybody that wants to fucking get fucked up on a, on a budget. Go to Sonic, get a cherry slush with nerds in it and pour Crown Apple in it.
Yeah.
Crown Apple and a cherry slush with that nerds in there. Oh my fucking God. You will get fucked up and it is delicious. It is like crack.
Dude, I'll tell you what, when I'm on stage and I'm sipping on drinks and I can't, pound my beer.
Yeah, because I can't get drunk before I perform.
No, I can't. But when I'm on stage, I have one or two. I'll drink before now because my shit's decent, but I can't get fucked up at all. But it loosens me up a little bit. And then when I get loose, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So I love that scenario. But there's a fine line. But like if I'm on stage and I'm sipping, dude, I am a huge fan of vanilla vodka and diet. whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, and it tastes, especially diet root beer or root beer, it tastes just like fucking vanilla root beer.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's delicious. That's my favorite right there.
Nice.
But you know, I'll take a little bit. Mainly though, I'm drinking Bud Light or White Claws or something. But my Bud Light has to have a lime in it. I'm that much of a vagina. I ain't kidding. I gotta have something to
Kid
take
Rock's
the taste.
reloading.
Hey, fuck that guy. I met him too. That's
Kid
the next
Rock's gonna be
episode.
going against the lime.
I met
next.
that sumbitch. I ain't kidding you.
Really?
I swear to God.
I'm sorry.
No, it was when it was cool. It was in college.
You balled with his ball?
I balled with a bod.
Yeah.
That was during that time. But that's the next episode.
Yeah,
Tell you about that
yeah.
story.
So Brian, where can everybody find you if they want to book you? Or the great Brian Dixon.
Well, I'm on TikTok at Tired and Swaggered. I'm starting my Instagram up, and it's same thing, Tired and Swaggered on there. And then I'm on Facebook at Brian Dixon. I'm also got a YouTube page that I've ignored, but it's called Dixon Cider Comedy. So, you know,
I remember that skit back in the day.
Oh, no, when I was a pro wrestler, I had shirts that said Hard Dixon Cider. That was one of my monikers. I was the brewmaster of the Hard Dixon
So you
Cider.
can appreciate Unloading Meat.
Oh, absolutely. No, I love it. And but
well, on that note, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. This has been the great Brian Dixon. I'm Jared Ralphie Allen. This has been Unloading Meat. Peace.
by God.
Unloading the meat. 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 I don't even know what it means, what it is, what it is, what it is.
Bye. Have a great time.